Are we live? Do you guys see us on YouTube?
I
It's
do.
loading on YouTube. We are
What?
live.
Are we?
I see us. Yeah.
Hello. Sorry.
Hi.
Welcome, everybody. We're so excited to have you here. Make sure that we were live.
I'm having trouble hearing
Here we
you.
go. Sorry. All right. We had to get everything in the right places. But welcome. We're so excited to have you here. Would you put in the chat where you are joining us from? I am in New Hampshire, which we actually got some sunshine today. We had snow overnight. I am so over snow, but let us know where you're joining from. I know that we have people from all over, and we are excited to talk to you tonight. Iowa, awesome.
Oh, yay. Kentucky. Yeah.
Kentucky's been enjoying some sunshine, Michelle. I'm a little jealous of the pictures I've seen.
Ooh, Nashville.
Nice. Nashville. Oh my goodness. All of you are in like warm states. Am I the only one in the cold north? Oh my goodness. Well, let us introduce ourselves. We are very excited to have you here. And I just have to ask you a question since we're talking about skincare. Have you ever purchased a skincare item because it either seemed like it was clean or because an influencer influenced you to get it because you thought you needed it and you ended up disappointed? Anybody else? Anyone else have one of those purchases and it's like hanging out in your cupboard unused now? We've all had that experience, so that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about tonight is how we end up with all these products and why they don't work and why we end up so disappointed. Yes, Megan, you've been influenced as well. Glad I'm not the only one. So I am Dr. Naomi Hall. I am a speaker and a coach specializing in stress and burnout. I'm also a brand partner with Neora. I'm a friend, sister, daughter, lover of Jesus and coffee. I'm also a martial artist. And with me, we have Trisha. So Trisha, would you introduce yourself?
Hey, yeah. Hey, everyone. I am Trisha from Alabama, and I am I'm wife to James. We've been married almost 26 years. I'm mom to twin boys who are 22 now, so we are kind of empty nesters. They come back pretty frequently, and I love helping ladies with wellness and simplifying wellness routines and helping them become excellent stewards of their life and their body. And I have found that I love helping them simplify their skincare routines too.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Burgess. I am a college teacher by day, and I also am a wellness coach. I'm obsessed with helping women, especially moms, build their strongest version after babies mentally and physically. And obviously, caring about wellness, I have started to fall in love with what really amazing skincare is like, as my skin has benefited from that. And I am very outnumbered in my home. I am a boy mom only, and mine are still little right now. So we're in all this superhero WrestleMania life. And I am in Southern Florida currently, but I'm a Midwestern gal born and raised. So I'm not missing snow at the moment. We're so excited to have you all here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to have you here and to dive into really the truth behind what all of us have been told and some of the lies. And all of us, none of us are young. Well, I'm not going to say we're not young, but we're not like in our 20s. And these are things that we wish we'd learned like when we were 25. For me, a lot of this I learned at 45, and I was like, I could have used this information a long time ago. So hopefully you're ahead of the curve, ahead of us. But if not, we're all going to learn these things together. So Lindsay.
All right. So I'm going to start us off, and I want to first kind of give like big picture overview about understanding your skin in general. And so a misconception that a lot of people have is that when we age, our skin is aging on a surface level. We typically think wrinkles, we think it's all happening topically, but really the effects of aging structurally are happening underneath. And so when you look at the image of the layers of human skin, what we don't realize is as we're aging, that image, structural aging that you see, this is what I lovingly call, for those of us, type me if you're beyond 35 now. If you are, these pictures are what I lovingly call kind of a big bummer, right? When we see what happens to our face as we age. And so what you're seeing is the underneath of our actual epidermis, the top layer, what's happening structurally as we continue aging. So what happens is we're seeing a loss of volume. And the biggest culprit of actually what's causing, deep set wrinkles, what we call jowls, like our skin just starts to look different, is actually the loss of our fat cells in our skin, so the lipid cells. And so that gives us that like bouncy, youthful glow, that younger looking glow. So when that starts to change, it's actually what's underneath that we're losing the volume, we're losing that. And that is where we start to notice the shifting and the loss of elasticity, the loss of collagen, all of that going on in our face. So overview of it, a lot of times, and we'll get into kind of misconceptions of when you go into different cosmetic stores, department stores, some of the things that you don't know. But a lot of times when you go into those stores, there are different types of what we call like levels of skincare, right? So you have cosmetic, which only addresses the top layer, the epidermis. And then you have what's called medical grade skincare. And if you're purchasing that, that is addressing that third layer on the screen, the dermis. For it to be considered medically grade, it has to be addressing that level of your skin. What has been a misconception before is we always thought that our addressing, like getting the firmness back, getting the volume back, always had to be topically injected or put in to cause damage to regenerate. Now there's been innovations to where you can actually get to the muscle, which is the foundation of our skin. And when that is breaking down, that's where a lot of the issues are happening. So what we are looking for is, and what you should be cognizant of too, is actually getting to the lipid, like restoring the fat level cells, which are the yellow little circles. That layer is what we're looking for when we're trying to support structurally to counteract the aging process and to get that youthful glow back. And we'll talk about more of some of those misconceptions, but that's just really like a big picture of understanding the structure of your skin.
Michelle says that's the only fat she wants. Yeah, I agree.
Me too.
Yes.
Can I take some from other places to replace it there, Michelle?
Yeah. So I'm going to jump in here. And earlier, Naomi mentioned her age. I wanted to tell you I am 55, and I definitely wish I had learned all of this when I was in my 20s. That would have been wonderful. But how many of you have walked into Sephora or Ulta and you knew you were going in for a specific product, but you got there and you were so overwhelmed with all the choices? Mm-hmm. Drop me a comment if that has been you. Walking in there, you might think that you need a night cream. Say you want to buy a night cream and you start looking for night creams and you're like, there's so many night creams, I don't know which one to choose. Well, if you look at this graphic that's on the screen, you might be surprised, but there are 7 companies that are like umbrella companies that produce all the skincare and all the cosmetics that these stores sell. So say you're looking at night creams on this shelf, and you see a varying price points. You see different labels, and you're just so confused. That is because all of these companies are marketing products to different companies, and they're all going on the shelves, and it's so very confusing. I would encourage you to take a picture of this graphic and then zoom in on it and see if you can find the names of any of the skincare brands that you are purchasing, and see if they're under the umbrella of one of these companies. So just because it's a different brand with a different label and it says it has different ingredients, it does not mean that it is a different product. And that takes us to our next slide. Have you ever heard of white labeling? I had never heard of that until a couple of years ago. If you've heard of that, or if you've never heard of that, drop it in the comments. Let us know. White labeling is like new to you, or you're familiar with it. But basically what white labeling is, say a company decides that they want to market a product. They go to a lab, they pick out a pre-made product, they take it back to their company, and they slap their label and their name on it. And then they market it as their own. So when you walk into Sephora or you walk into Ultra and you see the different products, and you're trying to figure out which one is the best one for me and which one is the best price point for me, they may all actually be the same product. They just have a different label from a different company on it. And that is very deceptive. And it's just very deceptive. It made me angry. It really made me angry when I learned that. So there are some things that you can look for when you go to look for products in the stores. And we listed some questions on here. If you want to screenshot those questions, you can do that. But we do have a gift for you at the end that it's a sweet little checklist of what to look for when you go to buy skincare. But one of the questions to ask yourself is it a custom formulation? Is it made just by that company, for that company, and it can't be bought anywhere else? The other question is it backed by high quality patented research? If it's patented, it is their own. Then does it meet the European Union standards for clean? That is huge. You want your products to be clean. And then is it third party tested? And to me, this is huge. I think I would prefer my products to be third party tested instead of tested within the company. If they are third party tested, it's going to take out all the bias, all the partiality, and you're going to get true, accurate results. And I haven't product. My camera's weird. I want to give an example of that. Neora has a cream called Firm Cream, and Firm Cream has the top 5 ingredients known to tighten, firm, and lift your skin. But it also has a patented ingredient in it, SIG 1273, which is on the little slide up there. And what SIG 1273 does is it helps to decrease the oxidative stress in your body, and it also helps to increase the help me, Naomi, how did you pronounce that? Lipolysis, which basically kills the fat cells in your skin. So we don't use this on our face because you don't want to kill the fat cells in your skin, but you use this from the neck down. And we have some before and afters here on the screen. You see that one lady used it for 45 days on her neck. And if you notice, her neck is tighter, it's firmer, and it's lifted. And I also used it on my neck. I've used it for a year now, and it took away my granny neck, and it made me so happy. And then we have another lady here who used it on her legs and tummy and arms, and is much more confident in her swimsuit at the beach. And then we have our sweet Lindsay here, who used this is her 7-week. Is that right, Lindsay? Your 7-week before and after pictures with the skincare.
Yes, this was the picture that made me say, because I was actually already using a clean skincare line for 15 years, and I grew with it as I aged already into the different levels of the line. And I was consistent and tried this, and I was like, okay, what the heck? I've never gotten results like this. What is going on? And the difference is having skincare that has ingredients at the clinically grade level, to the highest standard, to the highest quality. Clearly, it performs a lot differently on my skin.
Yeah, I'm done there now. I mean, if you want to go to the next slide. Yeah, thanks.
Okay, so this slide, this topic is a very hot button topic. We are not here to tell you what choices to make with your skin. We are here to give you awareness. So how many of you have grown up in an era where we have always heard beauty is pain? Beauty is pain. And up until, we'll talk about it, but it's kind of true, right? Until recently, and we're going to talk to you about some non-invasive options that are going to give you incredible results, but it has been true. So scientifically, in order to regenerate new skin cells, you have to cause damage to your skin in order for the new cells to reactivate. And in all of these scenarios, so we're talking, and the reason why we do that is to increase collagen, is to help to stimulate new, fresh skin cells that are not old and tired and causing the wrinkles. So typically when we look at what we call options that require pain, right? They require some sort of way that you're going to temporarily damage your skin in order to get the result that you want. These are the current options that are out there. So when we look at what those are, and I want, as we just kind of overview this, I want you to look at price too, because this matters. I'm a teacher, okay? I don't know how many millionaires of teachers that you know, but our salary is not exactly our selling point. So looking at this, when I see injectables, we know that those give us a more like immovable look, right? So if you don't want to see anything moving, those help with that. They also give an average of $2,300 to $4,400 annually for fillers, and then $1,000 to $2,500 for for injections. So things like Botox. Microneedling also helps to stimulate collagen production. You have to go multiple times to get a max new collagen production of 300 to 400%. That costs between $200 to $700 a session. You have to do that multiple times to get to that stimulation. And then there's also Sculptra, which is a type of filler. And that too is injected to help you fill the fat loss that we talked about. And as you can see, that price point there's too not very cheap. And that maximum gives you this one is to help give you like reactivate your body's natural collagen, but the percentage is 60 by 65%. And we'll go back to these numbers, but I want you to remember them as we talk about it, okay? Because up until not very long ago, to get actual results that perform, it did require pain until now. All right, next slide. So we're going to talk about this. So Neora has come out with a groundbreaking product we sold out of 5 months of inventory in the United States in 5 days. Okay, the results, at first I saw the trials and the women who got their hands on it first, who got to be using it, and I said, there's no way. And it just continues. Okay, so let's talk about this, because it is the first time and the only, you will hear like Botox in a bottle or something like that. This is truly the first time that we have a first ever topical biostimulator. So what does that mean? You will see on this slide, there are 3 different big names of GFP stem, BioRenew 1223, and bioactive particles. So all of these address different parts of what we talked about, the structural issues in your skin. I'm going to explain it in very common terms what this does. So one of the issues is our muscles as we age in our skin don't activate the way they used to when we were teenagers, right? So the GFP stem is what we call fit skin. It actually topically goes on and addresses all the way down to the bottom of our muscles, so our foundation of our skin. And it is retraining your muscles to lift, fill, and plump themselves. Yay, without pain. Yay, like here for that. Our BioRenew 1223, this part, when we talked about how we lose the volume in the fill of our skin, the BioRenew 1223 is addressing that piece. So it's counteracting those like hollow crevices, or sometimes when our skin starts to sag, that is addressing that. And I don't know if you guys remembered the percentages from the pain options on the slide before. Increased collagen production. Not one of them was over 400%. Okay, this increases collagen, including baby collagen, by 1,223%. That's insane. Okay, that's insane. And you do not have to go set up an appointment, utilize pain. You can do it at home around small children and put it on your face twice a day, and it still works. Like, as a mom of littles, I love that. Love it. And then to the last part of what is in this innovative, one-of-a-kind product is it has the biofill blend. So that part is helping with the filling. So it's, when we talked about the lipids, the fat loss, it's addressing plumping those again, which, as Michelle said earlier, I want fat there. So we're helping it stimulate there. In terms of, like, I know Trisha talked about with the firm cream, loving it on the neck, loving it on different areas like that. We have pictures of what this looks like over time. And we have Naomi, we have women who are putting this on their lips. And look at her volume of her lips, guys. How far apart was this?
That was probably my 90 day.
90 day.
Yeah, I think that was probably my 90 day. Yeah. I was like, oh my goodness, look at my lips. I didn't even have to get injections.
Right? All just from this product. And then the other picture is, we can see when we talk about that volume loss in different parts of our skin, you can see under her eye in the first picture, she has a little bit of that volume loss happening. And then by the second picture, look at the difference under her eye just from this product. So I'm always a big advocate of knowing all your options. So this groundbreaking product gives you this option, increases your collagen, and you don't have to have an appointment or cause pain to your skin for it.
I'm all for no pain. That is,
Me too.
yeah, I avoid pain at all costs. Okay, moving on. We have another eye-opening term that this was huge for me. This was very, very eye-opening for me. Have you ever heard of pixie dusting? I had never heard of that before. But basically what pixie dusting is, well, first, have you ever bought a product because it had like a trending ingredient or a buzzword ingredient like retinol or vitamin C? And so you bought that product, you brought it home, you used it consistently according to the instructions, you took before pictures, you took after pictures, you checked in the mirror every day, but you didn't see the results. And you're like, why not? This product should work. It has that ingredient in it. Well, it's probably because of pixie dusting. And what that is when a company takes the smallest amount required to be able to claim that they have that ingredient in the product. So they put the minimal amount in. They don't go above and beyond. They just put the minimal amount in so they can say it is in their product. They don't care that it doesn't achieve the results. Neora does not do that. Neora puts in the clinical grade level of the active ingredients so that the product will cause the results that they want the product to bring about. And this is me on the bottom, and I was using very high quality skincare before I found Neora. I joined Neora for the wellness supplements. I thought I would never use their skincare. I was very wrong. So I started seeing friends getting really good results with the skincare, and I thought, okay, I'm going to try it. I thought, I'm using really high quality stuff. I'm using expensive stuff. I'm probably not going to see any changes. So that was how I started. I was skeptical. But this is my 1 year before and after. And as you can tell, I feel like I have aged back. I am using fewer products. I'm spending less time on my skin, and I am much happier with my skin than I was before. I don't know if the company that I used before was pixie dusting or not, but I have I have a strong feeling that they were. Another thing that I love about Neora's products, I call all of our products multitaskers because they don't just target one thing. This is our Age IQ Night Cream, and there's a picture of it up here on the screen. And this will target every single sign of aging in one product. You don't need 5 or 6 different products to target different things. That is one of the things that I love about Neora. Their products are very, very effective and very simple to use. And we have a clean meets performance standard. We want our products to be clean, yes, but we also want our products to work and to do what they say they're going to do. So when you match those together, the clean and the performance, you can't deny the results. So I think, am I next or is there? Okay, that's you, Naomi. Yeah.
So I want to address the myth that more steps equals better results. I just have to ask a question in the chat. Anybody have a drawer, cabinet, basket, closet full of products you don't use anymore? Because you're like, oh, it has this, so it's supposed to do this, and oh, I need that, so I'm going to get that, and you keep thinking you need more and more and more products. Yeah, I finally threw my note too. Yeah, like you keep getting all these products, and you're like, but it didn't do what it's supposed to do, and I must need another step. And really, you don't need more steps. We do not need 15 bajillion steps to take care of our skin, because when we have all of these steps, we actually start to run into more problems because it creates more stress, it creates more confusion, it also creates more opportunity for things to go wrong. So one of the things I don't have on this slide that I do want to address that Trisha talked to was one of the reasons you think you need so many steps is because your company is pixie dusting their active ingredients. And so you're not actually getting enough product and active ingredient to actually do anything for your skin. So that's why you're buying more and more and more things, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do. But when we do lots and lots of steps for our skincare, it can actually disrupt the skin barrier. Our skin is actually supposed to have a barrier on its surface to protect it. And when you have 15 bajillion steps, some of those products can interact, as you see in that graphic in the top corner. They have to go in certain orders, and some of them can be very harsh, and they can actually disrupt that barrier, which protects your skin. And without that, your skin ends up irritated, raw, itchy, cracked, dry, breaking out. And then you have the problem of what's actually working and what's actually causing problems, because you have so many steps that you're like, I don't know which one is actually working, and I don't know which one is actually hurting my skin. And because you have so many going on. Yeah, 5 to 8 steps. Well, let me just address jump to the not sustainable part, because that comment there from Jan, the graphic in the top right corner, I saw this week and I was like, props, girlfriend, because if I have that many steps, I'm quitting. And I don't mean I'm just skipping steps in my skincare. I mean, I'm legit quitting. My face isn't even getting washed. I don't know if that's a horrible thing to say here. Help me out in the chat. Anybody else? I was like, no, I cannot. So this is coming from the girl who was like, listen, and I'll talk about it on the next slide too. I use the makeup remover wipes. I was like, it needs to be fast. It needs to be easy, or it ain't happening. Because when I need to go to sleep, I need to go to sleep. And in the morning, I got to get going and I got to get it out of here. And I watched a get ready with me video this morning or this afternoon. I don't know, some point today. I didn't even finish watching it because I was so overwhelmed by how many steps she had in her skincare to get ready. But I was like, I can't. I can't even continue watching your video because I'm already overwhelmed with how many steps you have of what you're using. So it's not sustainable when we have that many steps. It also gets really expensive because a lot of these products are super expensive and you're buying product upon product upon product. And so when you look at that closet or that drawer of all those things that you've bought and you're not using anymore, do you see dollar signs spinning like I do? I'm like, oh my goodness, the money I spent. So it's expensive. We don't know what's going on. And we've got wasted money and products. You have these jars and tubs and tubes that are just sitting there not being used because they didn't work. And I love this picture. This is, I believe, Trisha's. This is what she was doing before. High quality. She wasn't cheaping out on her skincare. She was using skincare, but she had all these steps and she narrowed it down to this. I'm like, my skincare is 3 max 4 steps. That's it. And they're like, boom, boom, boom. I'm pretty sure I can get if I talk on my stories on social media while doing my bedtime skincare routine, I think it only takes 1 slide, maybe 2 max. And that's 2 minutes. That I can handle. But so many steps does not equal better results. And as you saw from Trisha's picture, from Lindsay's picture, they've gone to fewer steps and their skin has gotten better. They look younger with fewer steps because they're not using pixie dusted products. So that's really where the difference is coming in, is you're using high quality products that have clinical grade ingredients in them. And Trisha already talked about our Age IQ night cream. This night cream does what all of those things on the slide do. This one product works as an antioxidant serum. It acts as an anti-pollution cream. It works as a wrinkle reducer. It works as a retinol serum. It works as a hydrating sleep mask. And I want to just stop right there for a second on the retinol serum, because this is a big one. A lot of women think they have to have a separate retinol, and there can be issues with retinol and sensitivity and sun exposure. Our Neora's products use Biden's Pilosa, which is the first plant-based retinol alternative, and you don't have those issues, and you don't have a separate step. It's included in a multi-purpose product. So Neora is taking and going, all right, we want these to be the most effective. We want them clinically dosed, and we want one product to cover a multiple set of issues so that you're not having a 5, 8, 10 step routine. I had a client that was like, my routine used to be 7 or 8 steps morning and evening. I think she was 7 morning, 8 evening, like that picture on the previous slide. And she goes, I have fewer steps, I spend less money, and my skin looks better now. And I was like, yes, hallelujah. That's what I want to hear. Fewer steps, less money, better results. So more steps do not mean better results. But then also, there's the concern with hormone disruptors and harsh ingredients. And so I know I'm not the only one who's over 45, over 35. That's the number I want to go with. So, anybody else use Noxzema or astringent or peach pit scrubs on your skin in previous lives? I'm like, I can smell the Noxzema. Anyone else? And with the thought of if it burns, yes, St. Ives. That's exactly the one I was thinking of, Megan. If it burns, it must be doing something. Well, I already mentioned your skin barrier. If it burns, it's probably disrupting your skin barrier and causing damage and removing that protective layer that you want to have on your skin. So you really want to be careful of harsh ingredients that are disrupting our skin barrier, because that is our skin's layer of protection. But also, I mentioned many of us are over 35 in here, which means we have a virtual room of women in peri and menopause, which means our hormones are already fluctuating and doing wild and crazy things. And then if we're putting hormone disruptors on our skin, because our skin is our largest organ, well, what goes on your skin goes into your body, because your skin absorbs what you put on it. And just think, okay, make the connection here. Transdermal patches, think birth control patches, smoking patches, you name it, hormone patches. It's a patch that goes on your skin, and your skin absorbs the medication. So sunscreen, cleansers, toners, moisturizers, those go on your skin and they get absorbed into your body. So if your skincare products have hormone disruptors in them, they're going right into your body through your skin. Our skin is not pervious to everything. So I just put the top 3 things to look for when it comes to hormone disruptors. The top one is fragrances. And unfortunately, because fragrances are proprietary, they don't have to tell you what's in fragrance in ingredients. And so it's often used to hide things. So fragrances can be a disruptor. And then parabens. So let's go back to those makeup removing cloths. I was not aware. So I will tell you, I will be very honest. I was an avid user of makeup removing cloths, because I was like, listen, quick, easy, done. No fuss. Like, just let me stick with my makeup removing cloths. And then I learned how bad they are. I'm like, well, live and learn, right? So these cloths often contain, one, fragrance, hormone disruptors. And listen, I specialize in stress and burnout. So I'm concerned about how you think, what you put in your body, but also what you put on your body, because what you put on your body contributes to your stress bucket. It's not just what you think, it's not just what you eat, it's also what goes on you. It all goes into one bucket. There is no separation of them. So what goes on your skin really, really matters. So we've got fragrance in these wipes. They also, okay, I have a science background. You have wet cloths in a dark sealed plastic bag. Have to have preservatives in them to prevent bacteria and mold from growing. So a lot of those are parabens, they are preservatives, and they are hormone disruptors. I'm like, oh my goodness, the stuff I did to my body and my skin before I knew. Yes, it sounds very gross. And then the other top hormone disruptor are phthalates. And phthalates are actually, unfortunately, often hidden under fragrance. And these are also a hormone disruptor. So those are things that there are others, but these are kind of the top ones to look for of like, listen, I'm 45. Like, I don't need any help messing up my hormones at this point. I've done enough to my hormones on my own that I don't need anything else added to the chaos of my hormones. So I really want to be careful that these things are not in what I use. And one of the biggest offenders that I am a person. So like you're getting all the down and dirty on me when it comes to skincare tonight. I am a person who like can pick out my eyelashes and my eyebrows. And so at times I end up with like, and I actually have like hardly any eyebrows or hardly any eyelashes. And lash and brow serums, if they are effective, many of them have hormone disruptors in them. And they can be very, very unsafe. You have to be careful how you use them. You can only use them on your upper lid. You can only use them at night, and they can actually affect your vision. They can actually discolor your skin. There's a lot of problems with a lot of lash and brow serums. So either they have hormone disruptors in them, or they're just like a conditioner and they don't actually help your lashes and brows grow. And I did not realize this. And I kind of knew. I was like, well, also, side note, super expensive. Like we were talking about the expensive like injections and stuff. I started using Neora's lash and brow serum, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I have eyebrows. I have full eyelashes. Like I don't have spots where there's like no lashes. And I'm able to use it top and bottom lashes. I'm able to use it twice a day, morning and evening, and like zero issues because there are no hormone disruptors in the lash and brow serum. And those things really, really matter to me because, like I told you, I've already done enough damage on my own to my hormones through different things that I've done, which is another webinar, that I don't need my skincare causing more issues for me. And all three of us, you heard what we do. We are normal, busy women. We don't have time to mess around with stuff that doesn't work or 15 bajillion steps in our skincare. But you may be like, okay, so you went through all of these myths, you went through all of these problems. What on earth do I do now? Like, where do I find things that don't have all of this stuff in them?
So that's where Neora comes in. We wanted to make you aware that Neora, all of their products have clinical grade level ingredients in them. So enough of the active ingredient that it will actually work and bring the results that you want. It's not going to take you 12 steps or 30 minutes in front of the mirror every morning and every night to get your skincare done. And this little picture in the middle with the lady with their hands together, that is Amber. She is our co-founder and co-CEO, and she is precious. But I love this quote that she says, and I'm gonna have to get really close to the screen to read it. She says, if it doesn't beat the best on the market, then we don't launch it. And I love that. And I have found that to be so true with their products. Their products work, and they beat the best of what's on the market. So we wanted to give you some testimonials for people that we know that have used some of our products and gotten really good results. So we'll start down here with Katie. Katie is our fearless leader. She is actually the one that led us to Neora. I think most of us had never heard of Neora before. If you had never heard of Neora until recently, tell us in the chat. Never heard of Neora. I actually looked them up and I was like, I just don't know. I don't know. But anyway, Katie stopped using the medications that her dermatologist had recommended for her. And instead, she started using Neora skincare, and she started using Neora's high quality marine collagen. It has 13 different strands of collagen in it. It's fabulous. And she also added in the pre and the probiotic. And you can see the difference in her skin. And when she was telling the story of when she walked in to see her dermatologist, she said she told him that she had not used the medication, I think she said for about 10 months, and he was floored at the improvement in her skin. But that is just visible proof of how effective our products are. And then we have Carrie on the bottom, and Carrie got to test out our Neo filler early. She was one of the early testers, and her results are phenomenal too. And I took this from her social media page. I loved this. I love this little quote. It made me laugh. She wanted to keep her face from looking like a sad sack of potatoes and had zero desire for Botox. And these were her results after just 10 months of the Neo filler and our skincare. And then, this lady, Jessica Lewis, is this picture was one of the first reasons I started using the firm cream. And she is a real person. This really is her results. They are phenomenal. And actually, a friend told her about the firm cream, and she started using it. And then she actually joined Neora because she had such great results. But our products work. They are highly effective. They are very simple to use. And if you have heard us talk about another product and you want testimonials about that product, reach out to the brand partner that invited you. We will gladly get you more testimonials. We can get you the science behind the product. If you're a sciencey nerd person, let us know. We will get it for you. And I think Lindsay's next with some drawings and a gift.
Okay, so we love gift giving here. And so as a thank you for your time, as a thank you for coming to learn about all of this, we're not giving away one gift, we're giving away, well, actually 4, because your brand partner who invited you here, the friend, the coworker who invited you to this call, they are gifting you a $150 value of what is a skin analysis. So as a teacher, I hate one size fits all day long. This actually gives you your own personal scan to tell you. So you're not going into the store guessing at what your skin needs. It actually scans your face. It's incredibly accurate, and it gives you the results of what is going well with your skin. Where do we see some volume loss? Maybe where are some of our wrinkles? Do we have some hydration issues? Different things like that. And it's going to give you a custom report that is uniquely yours. And then it's going to give you guidance on different ideas for how you can support it. So you're not spinning your wheels, you're not confused. You have an actual plan for your own skin uniquely. Love it. So you will get, if they haven't given it to you yet already, they have the personal link for you to do this. So that's gift 1. Gift 2 is we wanted to just give you value, to just break down the noise, to pull back the curtain. And so we have created, I don't know if you're like me, I love to I'm a nerd, I take notes, different things like that. But we wanted to give you something easy that you could screenshot, that you could download, that you could take what we talked about and re-reference. So we also are giving you a PDF guide that we're calling Stress-Free Skincare, because in case you haven't realized between the 3 of us, we don't do complicated. And if it's complicated, we're not doing it. And I think a lot of women are that way. And so it's going to give you a really easy way for you to kind of make smart decisions about what you're putting in and on your skin and what to avoid to make sure that we're not accidentally adding harm to our skin. We're also going to be raffling our collagen masks in a 3-pack. These are so luxurious. You can just lay down. Trisha's showing. They are amazing. I recommend if you have little ones, do it when they're in bed and just give yourself a little R&R time, as we call it, rot o'clock, like that show you like watching with your family, right? Doing it then. And then we're also raffling off our Korean technology eye patches, which the results are almost instant. The hydration is amazing. This is like my Sunday saver that I do. So we're going to raffle that off too. So I have been capturing names and we're going to just raffle 3, right, guys?
Yes,
Okay.
let's do
I'm
it.
going to spin the wheel. And we can't share too many screens at once. So I'm just going to hope that you guys believe me, trust me, Scout's honor.
While she spins it, I'm going to put my email in the chat. If you win, would you email me your name and address so that we don't want you to have to put it in a public chat. So yes, grab my email and email, if you're a winner, email me. That way we can get you your prize.
Okay, Linda David, you are our collagen mask winner. Congratulations.
Email me.
All right. Here's our next one. This is going to be for the Age IQ Eye Serum, which I never go a night without.
And that
I
bottle
went from
lasts
using,
forever.
yeah, I went from using 2 eye serums to just that one. Yeah.
Congratulations to Melanie Cersei. I hope I'm pronouncing names correctly. You got the Age IQ Eye Serum.
Yay, Melanie. Congratulations.
And then our eye patches. All right. Scarlett Shields, congratulations.
Yay. So with the 3 of you, please email me and we will get you your prizes. And if you did not see, I did drop a link in the chat for that stress-free skincare decision guide. That kind of summarizes what we have been going over tonight, so that you can just download that and have some questions there to ask yourself as you are looking at skincare. Does it meet these things? Is it going to cause disruption to my skin barrier? Is it at clinically dosed levels? All of those things that we covered are in there to help guide you and some red flags to watch out for. And we want to thank you for joining us.
Yes, thanks for taking time out of your evening to spend with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.